incentivize women to be single. We incentivize women to get married just so they can break up afterwards and get all the catches and prizes. Like this is going to keep going. Like this is not going to stop, no matter how many books they get, no matter how many OGs recommend it.
All right. So right there, I like the point that Fatty brought up on that part. I have been I've made multiple Facebook posts that said if you incentivized marriage, like I've seen modeled in other countries, like in Kuwait, they give families a stipend to take care of food and everything else because they incentivize the growing of the family. Because when you go abroad, you start seeing two-parent household, nuclear family, not just a stepmother or a stepfather. I'm talking about biologically nuclear. You start seeing larger families because it's incentivized for them to grow their family. So I like the fact that Fatty pointed that out. I'm gonna let it keep rocking.
Them, no matter how many times you say close your legs, no matter how many times you say you need to be responsible. If I know I'm immortal, you are not going to scare me by saying if you're going to jump from the ninth floor, you are going to earth. Hey, I jump 3 times. Oh, this is how it feels. Let me jump the fourth. Nothing
Right.
happens to me. Go ahead then.
Yeah. And absolutely correct, Fatty. And we do incentivize women to be single. But if you look at the rates of prescription drug use for anxiety medication and depression medication, yeah, women aren't happy, and it's a lie. They still want men. They will talk about how much money they earn and how satisfied they are in their careers and how they don't need they have single women are the happiest or whatever. Yet you guys are still dealing with men. If you were so happy without men, why are you 45 in a situationship? Why are you still out? Like, we need
Can you
y'all.
answer that? Can you answer that? Why are women miserable?
Because
Because we say,
lack
right,
of purpose.
women are miserable. And Akua, please go after Anne. Like, why are women miserable? The most free, the most powerful, the most educated, the most privileged woman in the history of mankind. Why are the women that fought for all these things and acquire all these things, control 80% of consumer spending ever? Like, why are these women the most free women? Yeah, why? What's
and yet we're still unhappy because we are lying to ourselves about our true purpose here, like Akua touched on. When all of these things, all these material trophies, does not actually satisfy the feminine role or the feminine spirit.
Your microphone got a little bit muffled in it, like for whatever
reason. We need to be in union with men. We need to create. And if we're not doing that, no amount of money is going to numb that pain or medication. Go ahead.
Let me just say one little thing, and then Akua and Ricky. Married women are miserable too. I'm sorry. I'm saying it. I don't give a fuck. Married women are miserable. They want to be single. Single women are miserable. They want to get married.
Except for D.
Woman with kids. Oh my God. Fuck these kids. Woman go to work. I don't want to go to work. Woman stay at home mom. I'm bored. I want to go to work. Woman, in my opinion, respectfully, the same way men are very undisciplined when it comes to sex, and no matter how much pussy they can get the most beautiful woman, and they're always going to have the wondering why. Can I fuck that one too? Woman, for whatever reason, can never be happy with whatever they achieve. You put them on the ivory tower, they say it's too high. You put them on the floor, they say it's too low. You put them on a hot environment, they say it's too hot. They put them on a cold, they say it's too cold. Like, women are by nature like just unregulated. Like, they will never be satisfied, no matter how many pairs of shoes they have. They always tell you it's the next last one until they pass on the store and say, "Oh my God, I want that one too."
I think
so more.
No, but D, why? But we're asking y'all, why? Like, why is most women not happy? Why are most women having? It's like almost D envy. They're trying to be men instead of being women. Why are women lying to themselves? Why are women weaponizing everything? Why is women trying to convince people that they're being controlled versus they just want to do what they want to do? Like, me and Fatty, this conversation on this panel, we're having this on the back.
Like, we really trying to figure out like what the world is going on. And people will go, oh, y'all mad at women, y'all bash it. No, we not. Like, we want men and women together. So, but why are women still deciding to choose themselves, even over their children? Even over Shamar Moore just lost his girl. Michael B. Jordan lost his girl. Tyrese lost his girl. Tom Brady lost his girl. Leonardo DiCaprio can't keep, like, none, even the great men, they can't keep their women. But why? But we're trying to ask y'all, what, when y'all thinking about it, why can't men, and women are supposed to technically, y'all saw grandma kept the family together. Man, that ain't one of the man's job. That was always a woman's job. My job was to get you. Your job was to keep me. That's how you demonstrated your value. But now you're making it a man has to keep you.
Yeah.
When you think about it, and to Akua as well too, what is making women so miserable?
I think women just want control, to be honest. I think they want full control. They want to be able to call the shots, make the decisions, and they want men to just be okay with it.
I'm gonna interrupt you again. I'm intentionally interrupt you. Okay. Why do they want control when they know the more they try to get control, they can't control us? Why?
Yeah, we don't surrender.
But
women have been convinced of that. It's by design. Black families are not good for the overall agenda. It's damaging.
No, Akua. Y'all can get your degrees. You can
no. We by design, for sure.
Right. No,
for
but
sure. When our grandmothers kept the families together, I'm not
trying to cut you off. We think about this all the time, right? All the things that you can attain, all the things you can be successful at, how beautiful you are, how much everybody wants to come to you. Even when you get there, like, that means women know what they're doing. And I get what you're saying, conditioned and socially engineered, but it's becoming disheartening because my whole life I thought women was better than men. My whole life. I'm thinking, and think about why I'm saying this. We're living for you. If you're pure, if you're not touched, if you're not scarred. My mother was the most loving. My mother was my goat. I love my father to death. He was for my mother all the time. But my mother, all she did every single day is wake up for us. So I saw my father go and take care of my mother so she could take care of us. And that's what I always thought a woman. I thought my father knew. It's like, man, my mother's the greatest person in this household. So my father's gonna make sure she's not stressed, she's not hurt, she don't have to break her back for nobody, so she can love us. So what I'm asking is, if she is she technically becomes our legacy. Like, you are love. Like, why cannot they be happy with that position? You're the candy in the candy store. We trying to buy the candy, and the store is operating over you. Why don't women want to just be the candy?
They're confused. That's all I can say. They're confused, entitled. So society and social media they don't know what they're supposed. The things that men are saying they want from women, you notice that's the opposite of what women are trying to do.
Right.
So everything that y'all are saying y'all want from women, the women are trying to do the complete opposite. It's because they're confused, combative. They don't know what they want. Most women, you ask them what you don't know. And then they think they have all these options, too many options that they think they have, and they don't know how to pick. I mean, I'm a woman. If you give me 1,000 options, I'm gonna be confused too. I ain't gonna know exactly what I want either. So I think they're just confused. I don't think that
I don't believe that. And I gotta interrupt you again. They say all men are cheaters. All men want is smacks. Look, watch this. All the men experience on this panel, when they don't give a damn, there's a line of women outside of the door wanting to respect and be with you and connect with you. Soon as you go, you know what, D? You know what, Ann? You know what, Akua? I love you. That's when everything goes to hell for most women. When once they say I love you and they hear those words, gotcha, I got you, and it turns.
I mean, that's where we are today. But I think women, the scorned women who were dedicated to their family that we're talking about, our grandmothers, financially were surviving off of their husband. The family was the nucleus. It was the focus. They still got cheated on, although maybe they were good women. Some of them, not all of them, some of them. So
but you just
when options came into play and it was like, you know what? I don't have to pick this. You know what? Oh, I can go and get my own job. You know what? I don't have to put up with XYZ. And so they started exploring options, and little by little, the children were left behind by the mothers. And now we have so many people that have childhood trauma and then trying to get together and then try to lead a household. and it becoming contagious. But when I tell you what I love out of this whole panel is all of us are not afraid to talk about the taboo topic of a bad mother. And so many people have experienced bad mothering, male and female. But as soon as we hear anything about a woman having to be accountable for doing something wrong, I don't know if, and I've literally made a post about it, and just it was like it was invisible to every woman. I was like, hey sis, it's okay to be wrong. It's okay. We don't know how to deal with rejection. We don't have as much practice. So it looks like we're being thrown away. It looks like we're not good enough. It looks like we're not being valued, opposed to, hey, look at this area of opportunity. This is where you could use some growth. Instead, it's like, I'm not perfect. Wow, perfect.
I swear.
Let me go deal with escapism. Let me deal with escapism.
Last one, I'm letting it go.
Let me go shopping.
Last one, I'm letting it go. I don't believe that. Y'all love being not y'all. Most women love being with the abuser, love being with the cheater, love being with the liar. Look at the news. They love it. They love the drugs. They love the toxicness. They love it. You get a Williams, you get an Uncle Ricky, you get an Ali. Hey man, I take care of everything. But this is my house. This is my rules. Hell no. I'd rather live in hell than be operating under a good man, under a righteous man, under a pastor. If you give
those are women who don't understand their power.
If everybody on this panel raise pastors, and then somebody else raised 20 bad boys, take that. The women are gonna want the bad boys. They don't want the pastor.
Ali, I think
why can't he put
every woman is not like that?
I know D without saying every woman, D.
But I'm saying
we're dating y'all. D, you married.
And I'm older too. I'm not that young, so I'm older. So I guess I do come from a different generation. I'm not that young, and so I maybe I'm speaking from that perspective. But I guess you're right with the women of today, because they've been conditioned a certain way. See, I am coming from a different generation, honestly, where I look at things a lot differently. I've been married a long time, and we've been married years, back when it was a little bit different than it is now. It's just out of hand now. So maybe it is, these women are raised by a bunch of ratchet, single, hyena, bonnet wearing women. So they're not taught how to respect a man and the importance of a family. They don't know the importance. They don't care. So I can't fully say what it is. It's just they're not raised. They're not taught that way. They're taught to get over on a man, take him, get the coins, get to the bag, get the D and get the bag, and that's it. They don't know. They really don't know. They don't respect men in the way that women used to. Like I said, and I can't speak for every woman. I only speak for myself. And I think the good women, the women who have morals and values and understand the importance of a man and respect the man, they're already married for the most part. These are the leftover people. These are the ones who are left over trying to figure it out. The women and the men who got it, we've been married. We've, married. I'm in my late 40s. I've been married a long time, and they're married. They're taken. What y'all got is the leftover women who confused, don't know what they want. And you could give a woman the world and she's still going to have a problem. I agree with that. She's still going to find something wrong. And that I don't know if there's anything that could be done.
So for those of you that follow my content on Facebook, man, I appreciate y'all for jumping in. Hey, what's up, Danny? And Aaron Ashley, and who else we got up here? Eddie Alexander Banks. We'll see you in a little while too. When I talk about the difference between the married people and the unmarried people, right? It's not an attack. It is simply identifying people that have different value systems. And your value systems come from the way that you was raised. And I know some people are instantly sensitive when this topic comes up because it's centered on the emotional response of the people that's listening to it, and they hear an attack. And when the truth is that it's just the people that have a different value system having a conversation that you may not be aware of or familiar with or anything like that. And it's no different than speaking a different language. We're not all the same, man. And as much as we think that we should have certain certain opportunities. We all have the same opportunities, but the only thing that determines your access to those opportunities is your behavior. And the behavior piece is why we are where we are overall. Like, meaning the opportunities that you get to connect with somebody that you believe is going to be a solid spouse for you is relative to what you are attracted to and what you feel complements your self-esteem. Because the truth is that nobody is laying down with somebody that has greater self-esteem than you do. You're laying down with somebody's insecurity in the most vulnerable manner, you know. And a lot of this stems from trauma bonding. Well, it is trauma bonding. It you know, like, you got to find something that you can relate to. And typically people relate to folks in toxic relationships. People relate to people who have a similar struggle, similar home format. So it's unlikely that someone from a two-parent, you know, home structure is going to find the opposite home structure, the single parent structure, relatable. It's highly unlikely that someone that was raised in the foster system is going to have the same value of parenting and discipline and everything else, because their journey through life shaped the way that they see how they need to make decisions. So when people hear these conversations and they decide to get offended, like, you'll see the women say, well, what's the point of getting married if you're gonna get divorced anyway? And you hear the guys say the same thing. Y'all are raised the same way. And the men that got married and it didn't work, the ones that's complaining the most, in my opinion, they're not addressing or haven't healed from either how green they were or how reckless they were. And sometimes it's a combination of both, and it's allowed to be put out in a linear direction, and it's always going to be a blame conversation. It's always going to be a conversation where, you know, hey, why don't you just withdraw from it, take your L and move on? Because everybody doesn't move the way that you think. And even if they move the way that you think, you have the choice to decide if you want to give your energy to people that respect you or don't respect you. If you constantly echoing the loudest about people that don't respect you, it's a bad look on you at some point, because are you not capable or independent enough to get what you want?